Hi brothers and sisters, welcome back to St Antonys and happy feast of the Ascension of our Lord Jesus Christ. There's another event that we're remembering this week particularly, and that's the birth of St John Paul II, our beloved Pope, who many of you will remember from when he was Pope. He was born 100 years ago this past Monday on the 18th of May. And so it can be nice to think back to him and to remember him. I know that I grew up with John Paul II always being Pope. I never knew anything different. And with such a long reign, that was the case for lots of people as well. I remember the feeling of surprise when we finally changed to having Pope Benedict. And when you got to that part in the Mass where it mentions the name of the Pope, and you're so unaccustomed to hear anything other than John Paul, our Pope. So he was really an important figure in the 20th century, and partly because his reign as Pope was quite long, but also because he was really somebody who had experienced the 20th century in a really profound way. Growing up in Poland, he'd experienced the war and the Nazi occupation. He experienced communism as a force and a terrible regime that was oppressing Poland for many years. And then, obviously, when he became Pope, with this long reign, he was a massively influential figure. It's incredible to have a saint like this who's so close to us in time. We know so much about his life. We know so much about the details of his life. This is the biography by George Weigel. I mean, it's so detailed. And it's really interesting because this rich life of John Paul II, you can really find out about all the different aspects of it. He's also a saint, who's close to us in place, in a way, because he, more than any other pope before him, travelled the world. And whichever country you're from, or countries you have links to, he probably visited it. He visited 129 countries during his time as pope. They've calculated that the distance was like 30 times round the globe. That's about how far he went on his travels. They've also calculated that he has been seen in person by more than anybody else in history because of these incredible visits. So he was a pope who was close to so many people, close to us. Actually, also for us, the community of the Brothers of St. John, he's close to us in another way. He was close to us because he knew the founder of our community and was took a fatherly interest in the founding of our community from its very earliest days. He, in particular, encouraged us in one aspect of our vocation, which we could call the search for the truth, searching for wisdom. And that's since something that we try to remain faithful to. That's why the brothers like to study and like to teach. And in doing so, we feel close to John Paul II as a figure. Because of that, also, when our community was younger, every year the brothers would be invited to come to, the new brothers, the novices, would be invited to come to Rome and to meet the Pope. And so you will be able to see a photo of someone you may recognize meeting John Paul II. It looks like he's just told him the daily joke.